just gonna lead it in that he went and saw the new Disney film Wrinkle in Time.
Wrinkle in Time.
A Wrinkle in Time, directed by Ava DuVernay, with Storm Reed, Chris Pine, Christoph Waltz is in it. No. Zach Galifianakis is in it. Mindy Kaling is in it.
Oprah, Reese
Michael Biehn is
Witherspoon.
randomly in it for like 3 minutes. Yeah, it's I support Disney. I do, and that's the only reason I saw this movie was I'm like, I would say Disney, like they're gonna make good movies. Like they usually make a good movie. Not this time. Really is just it was one of those painfully awkward movies to get through. Like the main girl, I supported her. She did a great job with what she had. This movie was directed so badly, and like I'm all for female
Ava DuVernay is a
directors.
great director though. She did Selma. She did the 13th on Netflix. It's a documentary.
Don't give her a big budget movie then, because it was a complete failure. It was horrible.
It looked cool from the settings that they had. They shot in New Zealand, and
it looked like
the costumes are kind of cool.
It didn't look like they shot it in New Zealand. It looked like they shot it on a soundstage the whole time and failed at it.
Yeah, but the visuals kind of looked cool. Everyone said that like you got to suspend your disbelief and kind of look at it as in terms like a mind of a kid, like watching a movie.
I
like,
tried. I truly tried. Every second of the movie was like, okay, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get better. It did not get better. All I can say is if you like watching flying romaine lettuce with a face on it, with an asparagus head, with children flying on the back of it for some reason when they're trying to do something important, but all of a sudden just do that instead. It
has Levi Miller in it from Better Watch Out, and he was
horrible.
Character. Oh, come on.
He was horrible in the movie, and there was no reason for him to be in the film.
The Visit?
No,
he was Better Watch Out, which I hated. But he was useless in the movie. He could have been completely fun without him. And also the kid who plays Charles Wallace. His two first names, Charles Wallace. The whole game, the whole movie.
Wallace's could be a last name.
I don't know what that's a problem. What's wrong with that?
If you watch the movie, you'll understand why it's a problem.
I do want to see it. I mean,
it looked like a sci-fi coming of age type movie. That's what I got from the first trailer.
Yeah, but it's not.
Okay.
It's literally a complete train wreck the whole time.
Well, you saw it. We saw something.
I think it'd be even painful for kids to watch. Like they tried to go with this extremely big like concept, and like it just failed on
I heard it's like a David Lynch Disney movie.
Yeah,
you don't know who David Lynch is, but like I can see that from the trailers and from some of the visuals I've seen so far. Like it's just like a David Lynch kids.
They tried so hard to make this incredible space adventure.
How would you throw David Lynch into a kids movie?
Apparently, the style,
Mulholland Drive and Home Alone put together.
Yeah, he's a very weird. He's a very weird.
No, this is like it's like they're like trying to make Interstellar with like time travel and like space jumping and whatever, and then they just throw like I don't even know. It was just so convoluted and just made absolutely no sense. So for a kid to watch it, it wasn't even funny. Like I could see kids walking out of this film. I give it a 0.5 star, but you can check my Letterboxd and read my full review.
A 0.5 out of 5.
Correct.
Wow.
I'm glad you said that because that graphic is gonna pop up.
Yeah, 0.5 out of 5. It's my worst movie of the year behind Winchester, behind 50 Shades Freed. It's literally horrible.
Wow. Okay.
I will have to check this movie out. I have
too.
I have Movie Pass, so I can easily spare it on the Wrinkle in Time.
That's why I did it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have
guess so. However, Nate and I saw a different movie that was released this weekend. We saw Strangers Pray at Night.
When did you see that?
Last night at Spotlight Cinemas with Adam Groton. Shout out.
Adam Groton, yes.
Shout out to you, but you're not watching. But thank you.
He will after this.
We'll force him. We'll tell him that we gave him a shout out.
15 minutes and 40
and then he'll be like, all right, I'm not going to
He'll subscribe just for the hell of it.
Thank you.
But yeah, so we saw Strangers Pray at Night. This is directed by Johannes Roberts, who did the 47 Meters Down movie, which I did see that when it came on Netflix, and I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I liked it more than The Shallows, only because I thought it was just a little more fun. Although it was stupid, it was very campy, the effects were awful, but I kind of enjoyed it for what it was, like a Netflix kind of
Pure
movie.
entertainment.
Yeah, that's what it was. But he made The Strangers, the sequel, which is like it kind of takes place like a couple years after. I don't know, honestly. It doesn't really.
No, I think it's just it's the same. It's the same timeline, different place.
It's the same killers.
Same killers, different area.
The two girls and then the guy with the bag, and it takes place at a camper, like an abandoned camper.
Oh, it's a trailer park.
Trailer park.
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah.
And it's about a family that's kind of going on a getaway because the daughter's having some problems in school, so they're kind of doing this one last vacation to get away before they send their daughter off to boarding school.
Yep.
And they bring the son, who is obsessed with baseball. Like the amount of baseball undertones in this movie is absurd.
Why?
If you see the movie, you understand. He compares like every situation to baseball, and he's just like like, oh, I gotta run. Okay, so this is like stealing first base.
And as you can,
what are you talking about? Just like you're being
as you can predict,
a writer loved baseball too.
A baseball bat,
and they pull him off a baseball field in the beginning of the movie as well.
Yeah, that's where we first meet the son, is at a baseball field.
And not really a spoiler, but like there's a baseball bat attack scene that he does. It's just like there's a lot of baseball undertones in this movie with this character.
Okay.
It's weird, but this movie I thought was done in a really interesting style. It was there was a lot of, as we talked about, there was a lot of homages to other films, kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I got Friday the 13th a lot, and then the cinematography in this movie was really cool. Like it was kind of reminding me, it follows with like the foggy atmosphere with like the low street lights,
the extended long shots of
there's a lot of cool like zooms and dolly shots that they did was cool. Yeah, I watched it last year for like the second time, and that was a very like constricted movie that takes place in a home.
Right.
It's very just like one location. Liv Tyler, Scott Speedman.
This one, it takes place in different locations throughout the trailer park, so it gives you more like room to stretch.
Honestly surprisingly fun scene that takes place in a pool. That was so cool.
There was one thing about this movie.
Was really cool in that scene too. Yeah.
The music was very like, it was like classic rock to put to some of these scenes that were just, instead of like this horror music that you can expect in a chase, when you put like a classic 70s like smooth rock song to it,
there's a lot of that.
It makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah,
right.
And there were some cool surprises with this movie as well, especially with the third act. But that kind of leads me to some of my problems. The third act just goes on and on and on.
Like, is there a cool twist or something?
Not really, but there's
a little bit.
Characters do things that you don't expect, and that's what makes it a lot of fun to watch. And at least that's what I thought. And it's done in it's done in a really cool stylized way, but it's a very been there, done that with a story. The acting honestly wasn't great at times. The father was kind of laughable in some of his scenes, and I don't want to get into spoilers. Obviously,
he's from like Grey's Anatomy. That's all I remember him from.
And I feel like if someone put a little bit more time into it, a little more effort, I think it would have been a lot cooler. I had some problems with it though. It felt very, very dragged out for like a 85-minute movie. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the style. So I would give this movie honestly I'm in between like going rotten or fresh though with a 2.5 or a 3. As of now, I think I had a lot of fun with it. It's an homage to other kind of horror slasher films. It's done in kind of a cool way. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 Drakes.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 out of 5
Drakes.
And I want like the duck to pop up as like the icon.
It seems like you're assuming I'm editing.
You are, so like that'd be wonderful.
Oh.
So
3 out of 5 Drakes.
I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 Drakes. I'm gonna go fresh with it. It's a fun movie if you just turn your mind off, but it's very been there, done that with kind of with the story, and the performances are kind of weak, but it's fun.
Then I'll give mine.
Wait for Netflix or HBO for it though. I wouldn't like go to theaters, but
unless you have Movie Pass and you pay $10 a month, and it actually ends up coming in the mail. And their CEO goes on screen.
I think I enjoyed this more than a lot of people do because I
enjoyed a lot more than I did.
Horror is my genre, so I went into this. It's a 9:45 movie, so it's late at night. I didn't expect a whole lot from it. I enjoyed this movie because it didn't take place in one spot. It allowed the characters to move around. They were able to utilize different aspects of the trailer park, which made things difficult for these strangers to get to them. And some little scares, little twists that go on. This is gonna sound really bizarre to some people, but I give it 4 out of 5 Nates.
Oh, good lord! Okay.
Just because
Nates or crams?
Nates, because I want my face to pop up right.
I'll still have your face come up if it's a cram.
Just like 4 of my face right there.
Cramming things into a drawer.
4 out of 5 Nates.
But I thought it capitalized. I thought it capitalized on the things that the first one did well, but also added a little more character development because I actually liked the brother-sister duo that was going on and just how they cared for each other. And yeah, how they paid homage. There is a direct Texas Chainsaw Massacre homage in the third act. So I just...
But does it stand alone without all these homages?
Yes.
It has no connection to the first movie other than it's the same killers. That's honestly it. And you can tell it's a completely different... You can tell it's a completely different director and it's a different style. And it's more fun to watch than the first movie, I think. The first one, I watched it too late, so I wasn't as scared with it. There's a bunch more characters, but they're not the greatest. But there's some cool scenes in this movie, let's just say that.
Do you remember in the first one where she goes, "It's because you were home"? That was their reasoning.
Yeah.
There is a
Yeah.
similar reasoning in this, but it is
Just
half
'cause?
it's half the words.
Uh-huh.
But I expected it, so I was just happy. I was happy with it. Like, okay, these people don't have a reason, really. It's just
They don't
just
have to
out of
have
the
a
blue.
reason.
If you're there, they're gonna
If you're
pick
psychotic
you.
killer,
You
you're
gave it
gonna
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Nates.
I will own this movie. I enjoyed it that much.
I give it 3 out of 5 Drakes, and you haven't seen it, but that's the review segment.
Wrinkle in Time,
Wrinkle in Time gets
0.5.
0.5 out of 5.
That was the March 9th
John.
weekend of Wrinkle in Time and Strangers Pray at Night. So that is going to be an individual segment that's on YouTube. But make sure you guys check out the full podcast where we're going to go into the different segment. So that's a different video. But thank you for watching the movie review.